Hey everyone, as promised, I'm going to show you a video today how to save battery and data on your iPhone. This applies to the iPhone 6 and 6S, any iPhone really that's running iOS 9. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into settings and we're going to go down to the battery category. And what you can do is turn your phone on to low power mode. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on, and what it does is it reduces the functionality of your phone. It makes things less fast, turns off a lot of things, as you can read right here in the description. Reduces power consumption, mail fetch, background app refresh, automatic downloads, and some visual effects are turned off. Some of the visual effects includes reduced motion. What you can also do is you can scroll down here as well, and it shows you the apps that have used the most percentage of battery. So when we scroll up, we see that Snapchat has used 25% of our battery power in the last 24 hours. It kind of shows you which apps you might want to cut down on or wait for Wi-Fi to be on. Also, in the last 6 days, you can click on that. In the last 6 days, Instagram, Snapchat have used the most battery. You can also click on the little time icon, and it shows you how much time you've spent looking at it on the screen and how much time it's spent in the background. So moving on to background apps, you want to get rid of background apps. So what you want to do is double click the home button, just go through, and you'll want to get rid of all of those background apps. So when you're not using it and you don't need it in the background, just get rid of it. So also with the low power mode, it can give you up to 4 more hours of battery power. And you'll also know it's on without having to go into the battery section by seeing the yellow battery at the top right. Usually it's green, you'll see it turn yellow. That's how you'll know that you're on low power mode. When your battery gets to 20% or less, it'll automatically prompt you to turn on low power mode. So that'll kind of prompt you to know that you're running low on your battery. So the next tip is you'll want to go into general, and once you're in there, you're going to want to go and click on background app refresh. So when background app refresh is on, all of these apps here that have toggled on green can run in the background and also refresh the data. So what I like to do is just turn it off altogether. If you need any of these in the background, you can go ahead and leave them on. But what I like to do is just turn it off. That way I'm using less power and less data. So the next one, you'll want to go into the notifications section. And here, this uses a lot of battery. Every time an app wants to send you a notification, it's going to come up as a badge. It's going to pop up. It's going to go to your notifications center. So what you can do is select individual ones, for example, and just turn it off altogether. The ones that you don't need, if you need a notification for any app, leave it on, but most you don't need. So we're just going to go ahead to a few, and we're going to go ahead and turn it off completely. We don't need it. Some things like Instagram, maybe you want to know if someone's liked your photo or liked your video, and maybe for mail, you want to know when someone sent you mail. That's important for people that need mail for work, but most people, they don't need to know that. So you can go ahead and turn off whatever you'd like. And that'll save you data because it won't be pushing from the server every time. It'll also save you battery because it's not notifying you every single time that something's happened. So you can go ahead and select the ones you want to turn off. So the next good tip you'll want to do is scroll down to display and brightness, and you'll want to go ahead and turn off auto brightness. What that does is it automatically adjusts the brightness of your screen depending on your surrounding environment. If it's really bright outside, it's going to turn your brightness all the way up. If it's really dark out, it's going to turn your brightness all the way down. What I find uses less power is to just disable auto brightness and allow you to use the brightness to whatever you want. So I usually set it in the middle. I'll adjust it myself if I need to, but I find when it auto adjusts, sometimes it doesn't always work out too well and it can make your screen too bright, which also uses a lot of battery. So next you'll want to go into settings and control center. And what this does is it shows your notifications on your lock screen and also from the drop down menu. So what you can do is you can turn that off so it doesn't show you anything on your lock screen, and you can also disable it from the home screen. So if you're in an app, it won't let you pull down from the control center, but usually just turn this on because you can pull it down if you want. It doesn't just drop down automatically. Another way to save your data when you're not connected to Wi-Fi is you're gonna scroll down and you're gonna go to the iTunes and App Store. So from this browser, you can go ahead and see there's a section called automatic downloads. So what that does is automatically downloads music, updates, apps, anything that you would normally have to do yourself, it'll do automatically. So also you want to make sure the option that says use cellular data is turned off. When it's turned on, it'll use the cellular network and download stuff automatically. And you don't want to let that happen. You want to go ahead and turn that off. If you're more concerned about battery, you can turn it off altogether. But if you're more concerned about using less data, you can go ahead and turn it on just when it's connected to Wi-Fi. So I have it turned on for updates only. I don't need anything to download automatically. I can do it myself. So there's also a spot called suggested apps, and sometimes you'll notice when you're in the proximity to a store which you have an app for, it'll show up in the bottom left corner of your screen, and so you can go ahead and access that app. But I find that kind of uses data, especially when you know you're at the store, you're probably not on Wi-Fi, and it uses power by pushing that to your server. So you can go ahead and toggle off installed apps because you don't need it. Unless that's something that's important to you, go ahead and keep it. But that's a good way to save data and battery. Another way to make sure that your phone is running smoothly, there's no glitches, and you're using less power, you want to go to General, and then you want to click on Software Update. And what this will do is make sure that you're running the current iOS. And when you have the current iOS, you'll be running your phone a lot smoother, using less battery, and in turn, less data. So you can go ahead and click on this to make sure that's up to date. Maybe do it every couple weeks or so. Mine's up to date, so I know that I'm getting the most battery and the most data. Next, what you can do is go into the privacy settings, and you can see that I have my location services turned on. If you don't want your location services, because this does use data and this uses a lot of battery, you can go ahead and turn that off. It does prompt you and let you know that when you turn off location services, you can't find my iPhone, and you can't enable lost mode. If you have your phone and you're out and you know you're not going to use a lot of battery, you don't need it, you can go ahead and turn that off, and it just shuts that off. This location service does use a lot of data, use a lot of battery as well. I like to keep that on. Another thing you'll want to do is swipe up from the bottom, and you want to make sure that the Bluetooth is turned off, because Bluetooth does use a lot of battery. Bluetooth enables you to listen to music wirelessly. It's good for sharing. Most of the time, I don't need it on, and it does use a lot of battery this way. So if it's on, it'll be white. So you'll want to go ahead and turn it off so it's gray. Usually, most people, they don't need this from day to day. Another one that you'll want to use if you know that you're not going to be needing your data at all or Wi-Fi and you're really crunched for battery, you can go ahead and turn on airplane mode. And airplane mode gets rid of all data. It gets rid of Wi-Fi as well. So it's good for taking pictures. It's good for videos that are already on your phone. But airplane mode kind of disables a lot of things. So don't use airplane mode unless you're on the airplane or you're very desperate to conserve your battery. Another thing you can do is if you don't need your mail, you can go into mail and there's an option here that says fetch new data. Go ahead and click that. So what I have it turned on is to push from the server new mail that I have. That's just a preference. If you don't care and you just want to go in and manually check your mail, you can go ahead and turn that off. This uses data and it uses a lot of battery. So if you don't want that, you can go ahead and just disable it. But I like to have it on. Another cool thing you can do is go into sounds. And if you have your vibrate on, you'll want to turn that off. The vibrate, it doesn't use any data, but it does use battery power to actually vibrate your phone. I usually have that turned off. I don't need the vibrate setting. So you go ahead and turn that off to save more battery. Now there are tons and tons more ways to save battery and data. That's all the time we have for this video, so stay tuned for my next video, which will be part 2 to saving battery and data. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below if you would like any other kinds of videos to do with iPhone, iOS, iPad. Let me know and I'll make a video. Thanks for watching. Bye!